Sadhu-bhavan, stormy Sadhu-bhavan, in anticipation of Govardhan Puja. We're having a very nice storm. So, welcome everyone. And I think we can get started. Let's see. Okay. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitangscha Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And here is a prayer for Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. This is from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sanatanam Rupam Udiyusho Kshitao Hridad Adano Rajakana Neshayo Tatkeli Kalpagama Sangatilita Sadali Vitir Anuraginir Bhaje. I worship Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami, who brought Radha and Krishna, the king and queen of Vrindavan, out of their hearts into the world, revealed their pastimes from the Vedic scriptures, and who are followed by all those devotees who love Krishna. Interesting. They brought Radha and Krishna out of their hearts. Hridad Adano Vrajakanane Shayoho. Vrajakanana Ishayo, the lords of Vrajakanana. So, all right, today is October 18th, 2025. And today is a very special day. It is the last day of our reading and singing of songs by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. This will be the last session, last part of the last song, which we started some weeks ago. This is song number 9 from Prema Bhakti Chandrika, and we've been gradually going through it, 5 verses by 5 verses. And we may say, because Prema Bhakti Chandrika is a didactic collection of songs, that in this song he's coming to a final conclusion, a final words that he wants us to understand. And we're starting now with verse 16, and there are 2 short verses, 20 and 21 at the end. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. 21 is the last. And these last 2 verses are in pāyar, what is called pāyar meter, in contrast to the rest of the song, which is in what I believe is called tripadi meter, where you have, we're familiar with this now because all of these songs have been in this form, and we're familiar with it from the very first song, which is we sing in the Guru Puja, Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bandho Mui Savadana Mate. So there are these 3 kind of phrases, times 2 makes it makes one verse. Okay, so here we have, let me first check. How are we with translations? We have we have interpretation. Who is Tirtharaj? You're translating. You're translating into Espanol or into, no, into Hrvatsky? Hrvatsky, okay. And who else is translating? Anyone? Anyone translating into Espanol? Because Katyayani informed me that she's no longer able to do so because she is now working on Saturdays. So, Tirtharaj, you have to simultaneously translate into Croatian and Spanish. How's that? No, what about Madhupuri? You've never translated. And I saw before Manibandha, but I don't see him now. There he is. Manibandha, what about you as translator? You're very expert. C'est possible? He's connecting, I guess. Oh,
Hare
here.
Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavas to you.
Haribol, Haribol. Possible for you to translate into Espanol?
I can try.
You can try. Okay. I think you'll be successful.
Thank you. With your blessings, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, good. What else do we need translation? What about Ruski? Do we need?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, there is a Russian translation from Anantaram Prabhu and Gopi Krishna Mataji, she's translating to Chinese. And that's it, yeah. And now we will also add for Spanish language and turn Tirtharaj to Croatian language.
Okay, we're all set then. Good. So this song, verse 16, here we go. E shongshar batujare kāma pāśe bāndhi māre phukāra koroho haridasa koroho bhakata sānga prema kathā rasa-rańga tabe hoy vipada vināśa. So here's one translation. When arrested by the highwaymen of material illusion, samsara batujare, bound about the neck with ropes of lust, kāma pāśe, bāndhi māre. So pāśe is rope, bāndhi is bound, māre, I don't know, in death, and about to take his last breath, phukāra, phukāra, I think is last breath, a breath. Koroho haridasa. Be Haridasa's servant. Let's see what he says. The devotee of the Lord calls out for the Lord's help and is saved. Phukāra. Phukāra means calling out. Now this koroho, I'm fairly sure is koro with an added syllable, so maybe for emphasis. koroho is the imperative. So just do it. Call out. The translation is maybe in that respect not so accurate. It's making it like third person. The devotee of the Lord calls out. But I think it's an instruction. Call out. On the other side, it does say Haridasa, the Haridasa, the servant. Well, it could also mean, oh, servant of Hari, call out. Okay, a little obscure. Koroho bhakata. O devotees, call out in this way, glorifying the nectar topics of pure love for Krishna. Koroho bhakata Sanga, prema kathā, rasa-rańga. So nectar topics, rasa-rańga, of pure love of Krishna, prema, kathā. Then tabe, the calamity of repeated birth and death will come to an end. Tabe hoy, vipada, vināśa. So vipada can mean danger or accident. Padam yat vipadam. Vipada santuta shashvat tatra jagatguru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhava darshanam, says, praise Queen Kunti to Lord Krishna. Santu, let there be vipada, let there be troubles. Let there be troubles. But here it says, tabe hoy vipada vināśa, the vipada, the troubles, will be destroyed or are destroyed. Tabe, then, hoy, happens. Okay, then, verse 17, strī, putra, bāndhava, yoto, māre jai koto shoto, aponare hao sābodhan, mui se bishoy hoto, na bujinu haripodo, mora aro nahi paritran. Hundreds and hundreds of women, children, and other relatives will someday die. Marijaya, koto shata. So shata means 100. Koto means however many, I think is joto koto, however many, hundreds. Marijai, they will die. And bāndhava, that sounds very Sanskritic. Bandhu is friend or relative, and bāndhava is, in Sanskrit, would be the plural. So I guess also in Sadhu-bhavan, Bangla, in High Bengali. Aponare hao sābodhan. Take care of yourself. So aponare means apnar, yourself. And how is again an imperative. Be, you should be what? Sa-avadana. Be careful. Be vigilant. Be attentive. Shabdan in Bengali. Shabdan. I, who am very fallen, am already killed by sense gratification. Mui she bishai hoto. Vishayas can mean objects of senses or maybe sense gratification in general. Na bhajinu haripada. I did not worship the feet of Hari. Or I would not worship Lord Hari's feet. And then tabe hoy narotam dhanya. Now, the translation here says, now I have no protection. Dhanya, I think, could also mean fortune. Tabe, therefore, there is of Narottam no dhanya. Oh, hold on. I'm getting mixed up. Where am I here? 17. Sorry. Muise Vishay Hatanabut Bajino Haripada More Aronahi Paritran. Okay, protection. Paritrana, yeah, or deliverance. Mora ar nahi paritran. Of me, there is no more paritran, no more deliverance, I would say. Okay, now 18. Ramachandra Kaviraj, She Shange Mor Kaja. Taro Shango Bina Shab Shunno. Jodi Janma Hoy Puna. Taro Sanga Hoy Jano. Tabe Hoy Narottama Dana. Okay. I desire the association of Ramachandra Kaviraj. Without his company, the entire world is a desert. Tarasanga Bina, without his association, Shab Shunya, everything is empty. Sheshange Mor Kaj. Kaj means work. Usually it means work. I guess because he wants it to rhyme with Kaviraj. Ramachandra Kaviraj, Sheshange Mor Kaj. Yeah, so, you know, we usually think of Kaj work as some boring job. But he's saying my work is to be in the association of Ramchandra Kaviraj. That's his work. Tar Sanga Vina Sab Shunno. So Ramchandra Kaviraj, about whom I don't know what can be said other than he was a good friend of Narottam Das Thakur. It was wasn't it Ramchandra Kaviraj who was on his way to his wedding and then changed his mind when he saw, I guess when he saw Narottam Das, suddenly decided, no, I'm not going to get married, I'm going to renounce. Jodi Janma, okay, if I must take birth again, I would feel myself fortunate to have his association. Jodi Janma Hoy Puna, Taro Sanga Hoy Jeno, Tabe Hoy Naratam Danya. Okay, now that Danya makes sense. Danya is fortune. So Jadi Janma Hoy, Jadi Hoy, if there is Puna Janma, again birth, Tara Sanga. So Tara is referring back to Ramachandra Kaviraj. Tara Sanga hoy, jeno, by with whom, Sanga with whom, tabe hoy naratam danya. Then tabe hoy naratam is fortunate, or will be fortunate. And number 19, apana bhajana kotha na kahibo jota tata ihate hoibo sāvadan. Oh, again, sāvadan. Na koriho keho rosh. Na loiho keho dosha. Pranamahu bhaktir chorono. Pranamahu. Interesting. I will not describe the specific devotional activities of each devotee. Okay. So kahibo, I will not tell. Na kahibo. Jata tata, sort of one and the, how to translate each one. Ihate hoibo avadan. Let's see. Perform your devotional service carefully. Okay. Apan bhajan kathā. So we had apanare is oneself. Apan, I think, is also oneself, bhajan. And ihate, iha means here. I don't know in Bengali ihate. Hoibo savadan, there will be attention or care. So it's not imperative, although he translates that way. Perform your devotional service carefully. I think he's saying, I will be careful in my own bhajan. And I will not talk about others' bhajan. Okay. And then, na koriho keho rosh, don't be angry. Don't become angry. Don't find fault with others. Na loiho keho dosha. Okay, so keha is sort of whoever, and koriho is, I think it's like koroho, but I'm not sure. Koriho, I will, or no, sorry, imperative second. So na koro, don't be angry with anyone. Na loiho keho dosha, and don't, loiho means like to take. Don't take fault. Don't identify fault. Offer obeisance to the devotee's feet. Pranamahu bhaktir charan. Yeah, I think this first line, apan bhajan kata, na kahibo jatatata yate hoibo sāvadan. I think the sense of it is I'm going to be focused on my own bhajana, and therefore I won't talk about others, meaning in the negative sense, like, gramya kathā. That's the sense I get of it. And because he's saying then, don't find fault and don't get angry. So it's more, yeah, I think that's more the sense. Just offer obeisance to the devotees, to their lotus feet. Okay, then we have these last Pāyar verses. Shri Gauranga Prabhu More Je Bolan Bani Taha Vina Bhalo Manda Kichui Na Jani. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has enabled me to write these words. Without his mercy, I'm simply a fool who cannot distinguish right from wrong. So Sri Gauranga Prabhu More Je Bolan Vani. So the Vani, these can also mean instruction, which Bolan, which I am speaking, and I think that's a present tense. What is it called? Present ongoing. Taha vina bhalo manda kichui na jani. So bhalo means good, manda means slow or bad, and taha refers to Gauranga, or his mercy. Without taha vina, without him, without his mercy. Na jani, I do not know. Kichu, kichu means a little, and kichui means a very little. So I don't know even a very little what is good and what is bad. Something like that. He translates, without his mercy, I'm simply a fool who cannot distinguish right from wrong, which is a very nice translation, Balomanda. What is good, what is bad? What's the verse? E balo, e manda, e sabram. Anyway, in the last verse, Lokanath Prabhupada Hridoye Bilasa Prema Bhakti Chandrika Kohe Narottamodasa. In his heart, aspiring to attain the mercy of Srila Lokanath Goswami Prabhupada. Narottam Das speaks this book, Sri Prema Bhakti Chandrika, the moonlight of loving devotion. Lokanath Prabhupada Hridvaye Vilasa. Yeah, okay. I was just wondering whether it could mean in the heart of Lokanath Prabhupada, there is this vilasa, this, transcendental pleasure. In any case, Prema Bhakti Chandrika Kohe Narottam. Yeah. Could be for the pleasure in the heart of Lokanath. In any case, to please Lokanath Goswami Prabhupada. He translates it as to attain the mercy of, but yeah, I think this can be taken slightly differently. All right, so then let's give it a go with singing. So feel free to join in the chorus, which unfortunately by our technology doesn't allow us to hear each other without it being a problem because of the sound delay. So from verse 16. E samsara batujale kāma pāśe bāndhi māre. E samsara batujale kāma pāśe bāndhi māre. Phukāra koroho dāsa. Phukāra koroho dāsa. Koroho bhakata Sanga. Prema kathā rasa-rańga. Tabe. Whoops, second time. Let's start over. Koroho bhakata Sanga. Prema kathā rasa-rańga. Everyone. Koroho bhakata Sanga. Prema kathā rasa-rańga. Tabe vipada vināśa. Tabe vipada vināśa. Strī putra bāndhava māre kathā. Strī putra bāndhava māre kathā. Apanare sāra. Apanare sāra. Moise Bishai Hata Nabhajinu Haripada. Moise Bishai Hata Nabhajinu Haripada. More nahi trana. More aro nahi trana. Ramachandra Kaviraj Shange Mora Ramachandra Kaviraj se sange mora tara sanga vināśa shunja tara sanga vināśa shunja jodi janma hoi puna tara sanga hoi jena jadi janma hoi puna tara sanga hoi jena tabe hoi narutama tabe hoi narutama dana apana jana kathā nakahibo jata tata apana jana kathā nakahibo jata tata ihate hoibo sabadana ihate hoibo sabadana nakoriho kehorosa naloidho kehodasha nakoriho kehorasa naloiho kehodosha pranamahu bhakteracharana pranamahu bhakteracharana Shri Gauranga Prabhu Mor Jai Bolana Vani Shri Gauranga Prabhu Mor Jai Bolana Vani Tahabina Hado Manda Kuchina Jani Tahabina Valo Manda Kichu Ina Jani Lokanata Prabhupada Hridaye Vilasa Lokanata Prabhupada Hridaye Vilasa Prema Bhakti Chandrika Kohe Narottamas Prema Bhakti Chandrika Kohe Narottamas Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Srila Narottam Das Thakur Ki Jai. So we have completed, as far as we know, all of the songs of Narottam. Now imagine we could memorize all of these songs and just sing them as we are wandering through the streets, as we're wandering through the streets of Navadvip. Couple of things I kind of was noticing. What was it here? One was that bāndhava yeah, paritran. So you may recognize this word paritran at the end of verse 17 from Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vināśaya chaduskritam dharma sangstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Let's see who knows which verse number of Bhagavad Gita that is without looking. Anyone? It's a famous verse. Anyone? No? I'll give you a hint. It's in the 4th chapter. How about verse number 8? Okay, now you all know. So, paritranaya. So here it's just paritrana. And what is this paritranaya? Well, first of all, it's Sanskrit, but also this Bengali is, you could say, very Sanskritic. So it's really a Sanskrit word. Trana means crossing. And pari means, I would say here it means like thoroughly or completely. So sometimes translated as delivering, crossing over, saving. And paritranaya means for the purpose of saving. So it's in what in English we call the dative case, or the 4th case in Sanskrit. So Narottam says, Muise bishoy hoto na bhajino haripada mora aro nahi paritrana. That this vishai, this sense gratification of me, that's what I've been doing. And hatha, it's, well, you could say it's, I am killed by it. Na bhajino haripada, I was not worshipping the feet of Hari, of the Lord. Mora ara nahi paritrana. And so there is not the deliverance of me. My deliverance is not happening. It won't happen. Ara, I think, can just mean moreover, furthermore. And Ramachandra Kaviraj, let me look. Oh, I have a book here. One moment. It might have information. A very nice book that was compiled, written by Swami B.B. Tirtha, and I don't know anything about Swami Bibi Tirtha, except he is with the Gaudiya Math. The book is Sri Chaitanya, His Life and Associates. And okay, I think he may be a disciple of Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. Okay, where's the table of contents? Well, here we go. So we're looking for Ramachandra Kaviraj. Ramachandra Kaviraj, if he's, well, there's Ramachandra Puri. It would have to be later. Yes, 212. I think we're in luck. 212. 212. Okay. Ramchandra Kaviraj. Oh, yes, it is this story of the Ramachandra's wedding. Okay, so this, first of all, there's a quote from Bhakti Ratnakara. I won't read the Bengali. Ramachandra, a king amongst poets. And then it tells the town where he was born, on the bank of the Ganga, son of Sunanda and Chiranjiva Sen, a well-known minister of the king of Goda, a devotee of the Brahmins and Vishnu. Ramachandra was not in any way different from Narottam Das Thakur. Abhinna, so young Shrimad Narake Sahi Kavinripati Samyak Asit Abhinna, not different from him. Then there's some details about his family background. He was a disciple of Srinivasa Acharya. He took the title Kaviraj. Oh, his Siddha name was Karuna Manjari. And that's from Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhana, which is a kind of encyclopedia of Gaudiya Vaishnava lore. After the death of his father, it says here, Ramachandra went to live in Kumar Nagar with his maternal grandfather, Damodar Kaviraj. And then he lived elsewhere. Okay, then here comes this story of his wedding. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written that Ramachandra was a lifelong renunciant and never married. Haridas Das, on the other hand, writes in his Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan that Ramachandra did get married, but never lived with his wife. Srinivasa Acharya saw Ramachandra on the very day of his wedding and said a few words to him about the temporary nature of material life, thus awakening within him an indifference to the world such that he never took up the duties of householder life. This story has been taken from a book which is not accepted as authoritative by everyone. The following quote is taken from there, but it doesn't tell the name of the book, which is not accepted. Okay, so that's, anyway. According to the not accepted by everyone book of the name of which we don't know, Srinivasacharya said, just look at how much enthusiasm everyone has for this wedding. They're spending so much money, and for what? Just to purchase illusion and quarrel. You don't realize that Maya has placed a noose around your neck. And so you take a great interest in the auspicious invocatory rituals. People celebrate weddings thinking that they are auspicious when they are not, and that they have been fulfilled when they have not been fulfilled. Okay. Yeah. This reminds me of a story which I mentioned in my book, Yoga and Animal Ethics, of the Jain Tirthankara, Nami-Nath. He was Nami and then he became Nami-Nath. And the story is that he was on his way to his wedding. He was a prince going to meet and marry some princess. And as he was arriving at the place of the wedding, so the story goes, he was hearing the cries of many animals, and he asked his assistant or his chariot driver, what is that sound? And his assistant said, oh, that is the sound of the animals, which are right now they're in pens, they're cages, and they are going to be slaughtered, they're going to be sacrificed for the feast for your wedding. And Nimi, when Nimi heard this, or Nami, when he heard this, he immediately told his driver, take me to those animals. And he took him to the animals. He saw they were all in these cages and they were all crying. And he said, release them. He ordered them to be released. They should all be released. And so they released all the animals. That must have been quite a scene. And then Nami said to his driver, drive me back home. He didn't show up for his wedding. Can you imagine all kinds of fancy arrangements made, like any typical, at least middle class or upper class modern wedding in India. It's a huge, huge affair. No, he just turned around and left, finished. And he renounced, and then the story is he went on from there to become one of the 24 Tirthankaras, one of the 24 ford crossers, those who cross beyond material existence. Okay, that was Narottam. There was something else. Oh, I don't know if this is correct and put this in the category of speculations, but verse 18, tabe hoi narottama danya. So this, of course, means Narottam then becomes fortunate. Jadi janma hoi puna tara. Okay, no, my speculation doesn't work. Well, it could work. So his name is Narottam, of course, but we could say that he becomes truly Nara Uttama, the best of Naras, of human beings, of fortunate human beings as a result of having association of Ramachandra Kaviraj in the next life. Could be taken that way. Okay. Be that as it may. Now, we do have a question immediately related. Now that we've finished Narottam, there's Narottam Das Thakur's songs. We need to decide how we're going to continue. I think the first general question is, do we want to continue like this going through songs, or do you want to do something else? And then if we want to continue going through songs, the question becomes which ones? We started out 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, with songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I believe we started with his Sharanagati collection, and we went through the entire, how many was it? Many, 50-something songs. And then we went through, we read through and sang all of the songs of another of his collections called Kalyana Kalpataru. And then we moved to, correct me if I'm wrong, then we moved to the songs of Narottam. First his Prarthana collection, and now we just finished his Prema Bhakti Chandrika. We could go back to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He has 2 more songbooks, as I remember. What are they called? It's not in my mind at present, but he has more songs. And there were other options proposed. So I think a couple of options. One was Rupa Goswami's Stavamala, and one was songs of Jayadev Goswami. Well, Jayadev Goswami, what is his song is the Gita Govinda. And first of all, that's Sanskrit. It's not Bengali. I've been kind of intentionally focused on Bengali for, let's say, selfish reasons, for my own learning of Bengali. Also, Rupa Goswami's Stavamala, that those verses or songs or stotras or stavas would be in Sanskrit. The other thought I had was there's Chaitanya Mangala of Lochan, Srila Lochan Das Thakur. And this is, very long series of what I think we can take as individual songs about the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I believe, no, I won't speculate. I think most of it, if not all of it, is in Payar meter rather than tripadi. So we're open for suggestions. You don't have to speak now unless you want to, but you could maybe share your thoughts on this with each other, and eventually, I guess I will hear. So, so that's something we can think about and decide before next week, because I think we should be able to meet next Saturday. Yeah. Decisions. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's see. Show and tell books. Very small but very sweet book. Many of you know Mahatma Prabhu has written japa affirmations. Well, now we have japa affirmations 2.0. And as with the first book, japa affirmations, this is very sweet. And as with the first book, he has 20 affirmations here. Unlike the first book, I would say his affirmations here are each a bit longer in just number of words. So and then like as in the first book, he gives a little reflection, explanation for each one. So his first affirmation for japa is, I am the most fortunate person in the universe because I have the holy name. Therefore, I begin my japa by thanking Krishna for coming to me in the form of his holy name. Thank you, Krishna. So it's nice. He's expressing gratitude. I like the second one too. He says, I am a morning monk. I live like a monk in the early morning by focusing solely, that is only, on my japa, avoiding any other activities or distractions. Yeah, so that's the book of the week to show and tell. Japa affirmations 2.0, 20 additional affirmations to take your japa to the next level. So if you want to take your japa to the next level, take help from Sripad Mahatma Prabhu, who is conducting also japa workshops. Odarya Chandrika, do you want to say a few words about his workshop that you have attended?
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Thank you for this invitation. Can you allow me that I will give this next time, because I would like a little bit prepare myself, not just
Yeah.
because
Okay.
But since now when I'm unmute, can I ask you, Guru Maharaj, if I can share a few photos from your visit to Slovenia in October? And if you wish to, of course, you can also comment on the events that took place if you not have other plan for today. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let me just open the photo. Just a second. I will share screen. Okay, let me know if you can see it. Share. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I will just put it bigger like this. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I would just like to share as show and tell, because Guru Maharaj, you were in from 1st to 10th of October, you were in Slovenia, and there was quite a lot of happening, if I can say like that. So first of all, what happened was Guru Maharaj had a Sunday feast lecture, and of course it was like this week Kartik started, so Guru Maharaj said something about that. It was really so nice. And then what happened? Let me see. Yes. And then because Guru Maharaj, as we all know, your second book came out, Yoga and Animal Ethics, and of course there was desire that we can do some kind of tour of this book. And so with the help of Mukunda Prabhu, we organized a few events. And of course, we want to do more next year because all what you will see that it was quite positive effect out of whatever Guru Maharaj presented. And yeah, this was a moment when Guru Maharaj had an interview with the national television in Slovenia. So this the how to say the program, it calls Duhovni utrip in Slovenian language, but in English it's like spiritual pulse. Yes, so Guru Maharaj, as you can see, he was also not dressed as a sannyasi, but he was dressed as a professor, as an author, and the journalist, Mateja Šetins, she was really so kind. So this is the how it sees behind the scene. This is something you cannot see. At the moment, Guru Maharaj, there is no link for that
Interview.
Yes, yeah, she will send me the link, and then I will send, of course, to all of us, that we will see how it took place. Yeah, here was. Maybe you cannot hear it because I didn't. Okay, so Guru Maharaj was very grateful, and he was so kind, and Mateja, she liked it very much. And in the end, they had a nice conversation, and of course, Guru Maharaj shared his book with her, and she was really very pleased. And if you wanted to say, Guru Maharaj, something too about this, how was for you? And
What to say? It's not very often that I do a television interview. Yeah, this lady was very, very gracious, and she asked nice questions. It's a short interview. The program, she explained afterward, is broadcast on Saturdays at midday. So, it's not the high time of day that people are watching, but it does come onto their website, and then it can be viewed later. I asked her how many people they estimate are watching, but she didn't know any numbers. So in any case, it's a small country, Slovenia. But who knows? Someone might watch it and go, "Oh, that's interesting. Let me find out more about this." That's always the hope.
yes, and of course, all of us will share that link with others, Guru Maharaj. So we will broadcast it like this as well. It will be reach more people. Yes. So after then, Guru Maharaj he went on to take darshan of our dear Panchatattva. It was Gayatri time, and after that we had Guru Maharaj took Charinamrita, and after that Guru Maharaj, if you remember, you had a lunch with Dr. Leonard Shkov, with whom you agreed
Yes.
to meet again next year at the
Yeah.
institute in Koper. This is other part in the other side of Slovenia. Dr. Shkov, he said that he will organize a presentation of the book, but because it was a short of time, that's why we will do it next year.
Yeah. Yeah, we had lunch. Professor Shkov came, and Shravana Ramaniya, cooked a very nice lunch, and we spoke in her apartment and her husband's apartment, and yeah, he's quite interesting. He's a very he's devoted in his own way, I would say. He's a philosopher. He calls it philosophy of breath, of prana, we might want to say. And it's a highly developed philosophy. He's written books on it. He shared with me his latest book, and he identifies himself, it seems, with a kind of a new development in contemporary philosophy, which is called new materialism. So it's a kind of materialism, I would say, that tries to be spiritual. There are many different flavors of new materialism, but the ethics behind it, I think, is good. It's a positive thing. They want to recognize, they want to acknowledge the value of all living beings in some respect. So there can be something to appreciate, I would say, even if we call it just materialism. When philosophers are seeking a higher understanding of that materialism, I don't think we should too quickly condemn it. In any case, he appreciates the book, and I think he's going to try to find someone who can write a review of the book and publish it in their journal. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the next day was quite very active day. First, we went to Šmarna Gora. This is a well-known hill near Ljubljana, and yeah, there was few of us almost there, and then then Guru Maharaj chanted again Gayatri mantra with a beautiful view over the city. This is a small part of Ljubljana. And then we had a little time for some association. Guru Maharaj, you shared some story from your climbing the mountain. I think it was in China what you shared.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then in the end, of course, before we went down, we took a group photo. So this was in the morning time. Then after that, we went to Top Pizza, run by Sasha, Bhakta Sasha, and those pizzas are really, really delicious. So everyone who comes to Slovenia, it's a must. Right, Guru Maharaj, it's very crunchy pizza, but it was really such a nice place to be. After being on the mountain, then we went to take pizza, and then after that, then we went to the Faculty of Arts in Ljubljana, where Guru Maharaj meet again Dr. Nina Petek. Yeah, because last year you were already, oh, it was this year you already met her, and yeah, because of this, somehow she was so happy when we called her if she can organize a presentation of your book, Guru Maharaj, and she was so happy to do that. Yeah, so before the presentation, she invited Guru Maharaj to her office, and of course she gave her where Guru Maharaj you received gifts, some books she gave to you, and yeah, this was all in one day. So mountain, pizza, and then was presentation of your book. But because this was the first week of the academic year and classes officially started the following day, there were not so many students, but I think there were like 10, 12, or even 15 students, of course, along with a few devotees were there. So yeah.
There were also 3 professors present.
Yes, I wanted to say that. Yeah, but yeah, please do comment this, Guru Maharaj.
No, just that.
Okay, yeah. Yes, right. And I wanted to ask because I was taking a photo and I couldn't hear I don't know who was, this was one of the professors as well, this person
Yeah.
here, Guru Maharaj on the left.
Yeah. I think she's retired. I don't remember her name, but yeah, she was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Nina Petek mentioned to me that she wrote her doctoral dissertation on the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And she said she really loves the Bhagavad Gita. So these people exist, and it's nice to connect with them, and then they're very encouraging to share something, something as what we are doing.
Yes. Yeah, really. So the following day, Guru Maharaj, you had another lecture at the same university, this time for a different department. And as you can see, Guru Maharaj here is like a student going to the school. Yes. So this is Dr. Anya Zalta who introduced Guru Maharaj. And I did a short video here just that you will see how many students, because it was the first day or official day of academic I don't know if you can hear it, probably not because I didn't put the
No.
sound, but now you will see the camera goes around. So there was quite many students, much more than the day before. And yeah, and but both day, as I remember, there was a lot of questions. I would say nice questions, Guru Maharaj, from all the students. I don't know, how is this for you?
Yeah, very nice. It was interesting because this was the very first day of their class, and these were second-year undergraduates. And Anya explained afterward that, they're a little bit shy because this was the first day of class. They don't have any so much interaction with each other or with the professor yet. And then what happens on the first day of class? They get this visiting scholar coming in and talking about some book, So it was all a little bit strange for them, probably. The course was a sociology course. So I tried to say something to connect with that theme. At least at the end, one question came, which I was able to say something sociological in response. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And as you can see, after the lecture, both they exchanged gifts in her office. Dr. Anya, she invited us. And both professors, Dr. Nina and Dr. Anya, they are both very happy with that visit. And of course, they invited Guru Maharaj to return next year. And of course, Guru Maharaj agreed it to do. So we are already planning a book tour throughout Slovenia, and whatever we can arrange, of course, with approves of Guru Maharaj. But yeah, this was the idea this year, and we will continue to do it next year. And upon arriving, so after this, it was the day before Guru Maharaj traveled back to Poland, where you are now. So Guru Maharaj invited us for darshan, and then showed us a beautiful work of Yamuna Amrita, the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And then the next day, Guru Maharaj traveled, and oh, sorry, I can show a little bit closer. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And next day, few of us came to airport because we want to say Hare Krishna to Guru Maharaj, and of course the group photos is we all like, so we did it. And of course, then Guru Maharaj he said goodbye, and then he went upstairs, and we were like crying and hoping to see you soon, Guru Maharaj, here in Slovenia as well.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Actually, yes, next May we want to again do some presentations, but also in University of Pula, it looks like we will have at least one lecture in the English department. That'll be a very different topic for which I'm going to need to do some homework. Okay, I see Marisha Sudevi's hand is up. No? She's shaking her head no. Okay.
It was not my es war aus Versehen, ja, genau.
Okay, that's all right. Good. So, the time is flying by. Do we have any birthdays to celebrate this week? No birthdays. On a sober note, I should request you all to pray for your god sister Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi in Serbia. She is, it seems, in her last days in this life with terminal cancer. It's been some years since I last saw her, but I sent a message for her wishing to give her some words of solace and encouragement and preparation. So I think Srila Prabhupada said prayers for others are effective. So you can offer a prayer for a god sister. Those of you who are related in that way. Okay, I want to anticipate Govardhan Puja with a bit of reading from Navavraja Mahima of Sri Shivaram Swami Maharaj. This is volume 3 of 9 volumes, thick volumes. And these are quite amazing books describing Vraja and Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vraja in a kind of creative style, but drawing from or based on the literature of our acharyas. In the beginning of, this is chapter 9, the festival and lifting of Govardhan Hill. So this is based, he doesn't say specifically, but I believe this section is based on Garga Samhita. And Garga Samhita, although it's a text which is mainly valued in the Vallabha Sampradaya, it seems to have also some recognition by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So we know this story, and I'm not going to linger on the story. I want to jump, so to say, to the point when the Vrajabasis, Krishna has just lifted Govardhan Hill because of the storm which has come because of the trouble he started by neglecting Indra Yajna. In response, he has lifted the hill, he is holding it aloft, and he is inviting all of the Vrajavasis to take shelter under the hill. And initially there's some issue, some doubt whether he's actually able to hold the hill. But eventually they become somehow reassured that he is indeed, and that they will be safe under the hill. So more than once, Lord Krishna invites everyone to join him. And so they finally come. And so now comes a description of what they see when they enter. And this is, I believe, from Garga Samhita. The Vrajavasis were shocked at what they saw. Rows of elegant, ornate staircases. Beyond them, an effulgent valley whose opulence shamed the celestial gardens that surround Mount Meru. A divine Vaikuntha-like serenity pervaded the realm beneath the hill. The effects of the storm still raging just outside that safe haven were conspicuous by their complete and total absence. So outside there's this storm raging. The Samvartaka clouds are doing their best to destroy Vraja and the inhabitants, including all of the different sorts of denizens, all of the animals, including the cows. Now they are inside under the hill, and there's absolutely no trace of the storm, what must have been a roaring sound outside. Now they're in this place like Vaikuntha. It reminds me that Krishna in Vrindavan reveals to the cowherd men, he reveals Goloka Vrindavan to them briefly after the rasa dance when Nanda Maharaj is taken by the servants of Varuna, and Krishna has to go and save him. So they get a kind of preview of Vaikuntha. Also, Akrura gets a preview when he takes Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. The sides of that subterranean valley were studded with glowing, glistening jewels that illuminated the entire area with the same soft, comforting glow that lights the palace of Lord Narayana. So we're getting imagery of Vaikuntha within Vraja in this subterranean area, you could say, of Vraja. You could say we're going down into Vaikuntha. The floor was a mosaic of uncommon gems, jewels, gems not merely effulgent, but also pleasingly soft and velvety to the touch. So velvet is a very soft sort of cloth. The entire area was divided to separately accommodate men, women, and cows. He doesn't say how it was divided, but it was divided. Sitting places, couches, and groves for resting abounded. There were plenty of such places, offering their comforts to the Vrajavasis, while verdant pastures, that means very green pastures, of soft, sweet grass and pools of clear water offered their services to the cows. A soft breeze bearing the scents of kadamba flowers and sandalwood blew gently through the veil beneath Govardhan, through the area, refreshing both the bodies and minds of everyone, weary, that is tired, from their torturous ordeal. So they're in the, you could say, original primordial VIP lounge of Vraja. The Vrajavasis saw that both they and their possessions, like carts, household goods, and animals, could easily be accommodated in comfort and opulence unmatched even on the planet Sutala. So that's interesting that it mentions Sutala, because Sutala, of course, is one of the lower planets, but they're called lower heavenly planets because they're heavenly, but they're lower. Moreover, they noted with pleasure, with pleasant surprise, many things gratifying to the eyes, ears, and nose. Creature comforts, far surpassing those of their own homes, which were now submerged in Indra's liquid envy. Liquid envy. So the rain pouring down is liquid envy of Indra. Gazing up at Govardhan's underside, the people of Vraja saw it to be like a gigantic peacock in flight, expanding and contracting to show that it could easily accommodate the residents in all three worlds. So not just the Vrajavasis, but the entire universe could fit inside under Govardhan. When we look at Govardhan today, what we understand to be the all of Govardhan, this is challenging to imagine because Govardhan Hill is, as we see it today, only, I've heard, at its maximum height, 80 feet, some 80 feet, which is like 25 meters or so high. and it's quite narrow. It's long. Let's see, the parikrama, they say, is what, 21 kilometers to go around. So about half of that, 10 maybe 10 kilometers or 9 kilometers, so is the length. And the width is at the widest point, I don't know, maybe 100 or 200 meters. More like 100, I would think. So it's hard to imagine, but here we are, that the whole world can fit under Govardhan. Of course, we can understand why, because Krishna is there and he is lifting Govardhan. So if Krishna wants to accommodate the three worlds, who is to say that he cannot? Once again, Krishna's sweet voice touched the Vrajavasis' ears and hearts. Oh, friends, you saw how Giriraj appeared in person and easily consumed the mountains of food you offered to him. Giriraj only appears to be a mountain. In reality, he is a great transcendentalist. Why then should it be difficult for him to become weightless and sit upon my finger like a butterfly? So that's an interesting comparison. We read in the Bhagavatam when Krishna lifts Govardhan hill, Govardhan is compared to a mushroom, which is picked up by a child. But here, whether from the original or Shivaram Swami's, his ecstasy is comparing to a butterfly. There's no weight. How else could a child pick him up so easily? Govardhan Hill is completely independent. He does whatever he wants. I am just an instrument, a puppet moved by the strings of his will. Please, therefore, collect your property and at once come under the mountain. Here you will be more comfortable and more peaceful than you could be in your own homes in Vrindavan. So he's still inviting, encouraging them to settle and be happy and be peaceful. And I might mention at this moment my sort of pet peeve, my complaint about how devotees in ISKCON often typically celebrate Govardhan Puja by making a hill of food, typically of halava. They'll make lots of halava and then they'll cover it with lots of sweets and so on. Or I was one time in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram Mandir, on Govardhan Puja Day, and they made a huge hill of rice, which they then covered with, everything, puris and sweets and samosas and whatever. And then afterwards, after circumambulating the hill, worshipping as Giriraj, then what did they do? They destroyed it. They destroyed the hill for eating. They distributed it to eat. Well, I don't know. I kind of find that strange, especially after seeing how all of the Goswami temples in Vrindavan observe Govardhan Puja, which is that they make a kind of temporary murti of Giriraj, which is to say, what I saw is they make in the form of Govardhanata, Srinathji, that is to say, Krishna standing with one hand, with his right hand on his hip and his left hand lifting, that Srinathji form. They'll make out of cow dung, and they'll make this sort of like lying down on the floor of the temple. And they'll decorate him with colors, powdered colors, and they'll make eyes, I don't know, using fruit maybe, like that. And they'll make a feast, the Annakuta, because the festival is called Annakuta. Kuta means hill, or it can mean, yeah, something like a hill or a mountain. So they make a hill of food, but they don't just make one hill, they make many hills. That is to say, they will fill many baskets, large baskets, wicker, baskets, which are like, sort of half a meter in diameter. No, yes, in diameter. And they'll fill them with puris and all these fried preparations and so on. And they'll set those up around, possibly around the murti, or they will set them up in front of the main deity of the temple. And they will have it spread out in a grand sort of display for devotees to come and have darshan. They have darshan of the deity, the temple deity, with all of the Annakuta display in front of the deity. And the temple floor will be Govardhan Nat, or Giriraj, and they will circumambulate Giriraj. And in the Radharaman temple, at some point, the priests come and they come down into the temple, on the temple floor, and they bring I don't know if it was Govardhan Shila or Shalagram Shila, I don't remember. And they place on the stomach or on the chest of this murti made of cow dung. And they made a little worship with Abhishek, pouring milk directly onto the murti, onto the Shila. And they had a cow. They brought a live small cow into the temple room, and they worshipped the cow. And then they invited us, everyone, to circumambulate Govardhan. The point is that we don't eat Govardhan, we worship Govardhan. And the food offering, the Annakuta, is offered to Krishna, and then it's distributed. So that's my sort of pet peeve about ISKCON temples. Because Prabhupada also, he said, he encouraged devotees, certain devotees, pujaris in Vrindavan, to learn from the Goswami temples, how they do the worship. Okay. Oops. Okay, continuing. Upon hearing these reasonable words, the Vrajavasis entered the valley under Govardhan Hill, not so much because they sought Krishna's protection, but because they desired, as always, to serve him. Their exuberant conversations, the bellowing of the cows, and the rumbling of clouds punctuated the cowherd's descent beneath Govardhan Hill, causing a great commotion. So, and this is nice, he gives a picture, an image of everybody there. Now, if you've ever been in Vrindavan, or especially Govardhan, if you go to the beginning point for Govardhan Parikrama, where the road is in Govardhan town on the east side of the hill, and that whole road that crosses over Govardhan at Govardhan town is crowded like anything, and even more crowded on weekends, and even more crowded on Purnima days and Ekadashi days. So, and everyone is talking and yelling and calling, and it's total chaos. But it's a kind of blissful chaos. And so you can imagine that kind of blissful chaos as all of these people are crowding in under the hill of Govardhan. As Shivaram Swami says, why? Not so much for protection, but because they want to serve Krishna. The Vrajavasis parked bullock carts loaded with valuables, household items, and cooking utensils beneath an area near the center of the hill and stationed armed watchmen all around. Armed watchmen. That's interesting. Then they divided their cows into herds and brought them to graze on the luscious green grasses in the pastures that were located mostly along the perimeter of their newfound home. Now, a skeptical person might say, well, how is it possible that there could be green grass that is so luscious? So luscious means very rich, juicy. How could there be juicy green grass that's been under a hill without any light getting to the hill? We all know if you have a lawn with green grass and if you put a tent on a portion of that green grass for a few days, then the grass all turns yellow. So how is it possible that it's all green? Well, if Krishna wants it to be green, what is the difficulty? Once beneath Giri Govardhan, no one could even recall the raging tempest outside and the suffering it had so recently caused. Now the minds of the people of Vraja were absorbed completely in Krishna. So apparently, if anyone suffered a traumatic experience from the attack of Indra's clouds, that became completely erased just by being now safe in the shelter of Govardhan. Now you may ask, so how did Krishna stand in this under the hill? Krishna stood upon a large crystal boulder, large stone, which placed his feet at the shoulder level of an average gopa. Okay, so he was sufficiently high up so that everyone could see him. He was of medium stature, but the base of the hill, resting in Krishna's hand, was at a height of 1 tala. So then there's a footnote or an end note. And the end note goes like this, 39. 1 tala is the average height of a tala palm tree, which, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, is 60 hastas, or about 27 meters. Thus, the average height between the floor of the cavity beneath the hill and the underside of Govardhan being touched by Krishna was 27 meters. Well, to me, that means that everyone, if Krishna was medium height, that suggests that medium height is quite tall. Like, what, 12 meters? I cannot comment on this. But I think I'll end that description here, but I wanted to share also, this is end note number 28, and this is jumping back. Before all of this, the gopas and gopis are all doing parikrama around Govardhan Hill, outside. And the gopis are singing a song, and the song goes like this. It's in Sanskrit. Giri pujayam vihita kena arachi shakrapadam abhayam jena. Giri pujayam vihita kena putanika sa nihita yena. Who ordered the worship of Govardhan Hill? The same person who freed us from the fear of Indra. Who ordered the worship of Govardhan Hill? The same person who killed the Putana witch. And it goes on like that. Each time that comes the question, Giri Pujayam Vihita Kena, by whom was it ordered, Vihita, that Giri is to be worshipped, Pujayam. Or maybe Puja Iyam, this puja of Giri is Vihita, ordered. In any case, then the answers come. Trina Varta Tanu Dalanam Yena, the same person who crushed the Trinavarta whirlwind. Or Yamalarjuna Tarum Udakaliyena, the same person who uprooted the Yamala Arjuna trees, and so on. It goes on like that. So the gopis are remembering Krishna's childhood pastimes as they're circumambulating Giriraj and singing. So, yes, Giriraj, Bolo Giriraj Maharaja ki Jai Ho. Hare Krishna. So we want to wish you all a wonderful week this coming week with Govardhan Puja celebrations. I remember years ago, we saw pictures, devotees in the highlands of Bolivia, in the jungle. We're celebrating Govardhan Puja. There was a photo that somehow was shared. They had made a little Govardhan on a little round table. And this was out in the middle of a jungle. So it was quite amazing to see. And it is amazing and it's wonderful that devotees now are celebrating this and so many other festivals all over the world by the incredible mercy and determination of Srila Prabhupada to give us this opportunity. One question, dear Lalita. Yes, make a temporary Giriraj out of flowers. Why not? Cow dung may be not always so convenient to get or to make to a murti. So yes, flowers is nice. And here's a link. Oh, one more thing I wanted to suggest for next time. About a month ago, maybe some of you saw, I sent a link to a short video that was produced by the GBC Communications Ministry, a sort of, a short film for devotees to, I think the whole point of it was to appreciate what the GBC does and also to call attention to the process of succession, of continuing the GBC. So in a more cynical tone, I might call it a propaganda film. But what I would like is if everyone could see the film, and then next time we could discuss what do you think. That discussion can go in so many different directions, no doubt. But if I believe I gave the link, I sent it to Rasadadi Hari, and if you are, yes, Rasadadi, you shared it with others, I'm guessing. Yeah. Maybe it's good to share it again. It's just, I don't know, 15 minutes long film, something like that. Is that okay?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Rasadadi Hari Prabhu also wrote in the chat that next Saturday is Srila Prabhupada disappearing day as well.
Oh, that's next Saturday. Oh, okay. So that's good to note. Thank you. All right. On that note, I wish you all a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay sane, chant and be happy. And Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you.
Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Krishna,
Happy
good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.